Souza looking up, and it's gone. David Ortiz, the newest member of the 500 club. Big Papi, the greatest clutch hitter in Red Sox history, adds to his resume with number 500.
Aruba, Jamaica. Now we can actually take it.
Audi A3 today. Dunkin' Donuts, America runs on Dunkin'. Toyota's website for deals by Toyota.com. Digital Federal Credit Union, see what DCU can save you. The Scion TC. And by Southwest Airlines, book your low fare now at Southwest.com. We welcome you back to Cleveland, the site of Game 3 of the three-game series from Progressive Field between the Red Sox and the Indians. Before we get it started, let's send it down to Garen Austin. Garen?
Thanks, Don. A lot of news here today as the Red Sox announced that manager John Farrell will return next year and that interim manager Torey Lovullo will return as bench coach. President of Baseball Operations Dave Dombrowski discussed Farrell's health and why he thinks this is the right move going into 2016.
Well, in John's case, and have been consistent and meaningful in his situation, that I've told him all along that he needs to be healthy, first and foremost. The commitment's made to John. He'll be our manager for 2016. He should be fine. But I also want to make sure how do we protect ourselves? So trying to come up with what ideally would be a fallback plan if he just wasn't quite up to par. And thought long and hard about it. Been very impressed, of course, with Torey. And Torey's done a great job for us. I don't think he could have handled himself any better than what he has, not only in running the club in John's absence, taking control, but also always given the proper authority to John, staying in contact with John, knowing it's John's team. And so I had a thought that perhaps this would be a way that it would work to protect ourselves. I didn't know how Torey would feel about it. I ran it through John Henry and Tom Werner, and a couple of weeks ago my thought processes and how it would work about approaching Torey and staying on board to see if he'd be willing to do that. Offered him the 2-year extension, the 2-year contract, but it wasn't about that with Torey. It was really a situation where he thought about the scenario. He's very committed to the Red Sox organization, very committed to John, and so he has given up his ability to interview for a job for next year as a manager. He made that commitment to the organization. We're very thankful for what he has done.
So a lot going on here today from Cleveland. We know this. Game 3 of the series is coming your way next. rain has gone that was here yesterday virtually all day and parts of last night's game. And of course, the Friday night was so cold and windy, and today just a glorious fall afternoon as Rick Porcello has just wrapped up his warm-up tosses in the pen, makes his way into the dugout as the Indians are about to take the field. As very kind gesture, a plane over here at Progressive Field prior to the ball game, and I thank you so much from the bottom of my heart to all of Red Sox Nation. This was something I didn't expect, Jerry.
No, this is pretty special, Don. And, you know, as we go through this game, we're going to be paying tribute to you just about every inning, through every inning of this game. And, of course, you're going to address the Red Sox Nation at the end of the 8th inning. So everybody stay with us, please.
Well, the Indians have taken the field here this afternoon, and as they do, let's check out the Boston Red Sox starting lineup. It's brought to you by our Eastern Hyundai dealers. Mookie Betts leading it off in center field with Dustin Pedroia at second base, batting second. Xander Bogaerts at shortstop, bats third with David Ortiz, the DH. Travis Shaw at first base with Rusney Castillo in left field. Blake Swihart does the catching. Devin Marrero at third base, bats eighth, and Jackie Bradley Jr. in right field, bats ninth. The Indians starting pitcher presented by your New England Nissan dealers. Danny Salazar makes his 30th start of the year, 13-10 with a 3.51 earned run average, 189 strikeouts, and that's at 179 2/3. Opponent sitting at 227 against Salazar. Last time out, a loss at Kansas City, went 5 1/3, only 2 runs, but he did take the loss, striking out 3 along the way.
The Indians defense is brought to you by DraftKings, and Cleveland is second in the league. There are 79 errors on the season. Giovanni Urshela will be at third base. Francisco Lindor, the shortstop. Jose Ramirez at second. And Jesus Aguilar, the first baseman, left to right. Mike Martinez, Abraham Almonte, and Lonnie Chisenhall, and Roberto Perez doing the catching for Salazar.
Pirate crew today, Bob Davidson has a play calling the balls and strikes with the crew chief Hunter Wintelstead at first base, Marvin Hudson at second base, and David Rackley is the umpire at third. We're available. This telecast can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button on your television remote. Enjoy the game.
Buenas tardes, amigos.
Now the temperature today, 65 degrees here in Cleveland. Breeze in from right at 12 miles per hour. Partly cloudy, the forecast for the remainder of the day. Right now, lots of blue skies above, lots of sunshine. And the Red Sox and Indians wrapping up the 2015 season today. And Jerry, some surprises, I guess, today. Right out of the gate, of course, Arnie Baylor will not be returning for the Red Sox next year as part of the coaching staff, and that a bit of a surprise today.
Yeah, it was, but most of the staff staying together, just about all the rest of the staff. Arnie Baylor let go of the first base coach by Dave Dombrowski, but John Farrell, of course, coming back as manager. Torey Lovullo staying on as bench coach. And that was a little bit of a surprise. You know, I thought that Torey may go out and look for a manager's job, but the fact is he's going to stay here with the Red Sox and all the other coaches returning.
And we'll talk more about that as Mookie Betts stands in and gets it started. First pitch of the ball game from Danny Salazar is in there for strike one, and we're underway. Mookie starts today hitting at .294 with 18 home runs, 77 runs batted in. Yeah, I thought for sure if Torey was not going to be the manager here next year that he would very much be sought after by a lot of different major league teams, having watched what he has done here and the abilities that he has been able to get this team to play the way they have over the last 6 weeks plus. And here it is. He's going to stay as the bench coach for the Red Sox and has agreed to an extension.
And that's certainly good news for John Farrell and the rest of the staff that Torey's going to be with him next year, because they all, as we talked about the other night, all work very well together.
And certainly great news that John Farrell will be back again as well. And that's certainly very, very big. And we send our best to John and hope that he is doing okay.
Finished up treatment this last week.
Strike three call as going around is Mookie Betts, rung up by Bob Davidson for the first out of the ball game.
This is the second time Salazar's faced the Red Sox this year. He gets Betts on a split-fingered fastball that's going to be down and out of the strike zone. Could not control the head of the bat. Second time he's faced him. The first time he beat the Red Sox. 7 innings in that game, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts.
So 1 down here in the first inning, and brings up Dustin Pedroia. As he will take ball one from Salazar. Pedroia out of the lineup last night. Scratched right before the game due to the weather conditions more than anything else. Did not want to test that hamstring any further. Today much better conditions and back in the lineup as he sends this one to left field. Martinez going back onto the warning track to make the catch in front of the wall. 2 down here in the first inning.
That ball hit pretty well by Pedroia, but Martinez has a little extra room out there as he heads down to the 325 area to make the catch.
So 2 down, and that takes us to Xander Bogaerts, hitting at 320 with 7 home runs and 81 runs driven in. Bogaerts 1 for 7 so far in the series as he tries to get to that 200 plateau, but just 1 hit so far in the series. Here's a ground ball, base hit into right field. Down the line for Bogaerts. Chisenhall over to plate in the corner. Xander headed for 2, and he will get there without a problem. Standing with a 2-out double here in the first inning.
Well, much better, obviously, hitting conditions than what we had in the first 2 games of this series. And Bogaerts going right down that line between the first baseman, Aguilar, and the first base line. Down into the corner, and a no-problem double for Xander Bogaerts. What's he need now? 4 more?
4 more.
Well, get him 5 at bats today. Let's see what happens.
Well, a 2-out double for Xander here in the first inning. It brings up David Ortiz. They are into the shift on the right side of the infield here for the Indians. 272, 37 homers, and 107 runs batted. And a balk here charged to the pitcher. So Salazar balking, and to third base goes Bogaerts.
Couldn't tell what he did on first look. He must have started up and stopped, and then returned back to his windup out of the set position. Take another look. Stops, and that's the balk.
Called by the home plate umpire Bob Davidson. And Ortiz will take strike 1 on that outside corner. David with 37 home runs on the year. His 37th in the first game of this series on Friday. Is the most home runs by Red Sox players since himself back in 2006 when he hit 54, which of course is the franchise record. Now 503 career home runs, 1 shy of tying Hall of Famer Eddie Murray. 1-1 will miss, and it's 2-1 to Big Papi. Last 93 games since June the 11th, he has led Major League Baseball in RBIs with 86. And of course, a lot of his work to get to that 3,000 plateau came in the second half of the years. Releases this one fouled down the right field line, out of play.
Out in front of the splitter that time was David Ortiz, in it hard but pulling it foul. The off-speed pitch that was inside. Good pitch to hit, but pulling it foul.
Yeah, David sends one out to center field. Almonte going back, still going at the wall. It's off the wall, and a vicious ricochet. Scoring from third is Bogaerts. Throw wild back into the infield. And to second base with an RBI double goes Ortiz, and the Red Sox take a 1-0 lead.
David put a charge into that going towards center field. That one was not pulled foul. A fastball this time from Salazar. And Ortiz going right with it. That's a long way out to that spot where he hit that ball too. And that ball's going to bounce off the wall, carry him up over the head of Almonte. And no problem, Bogaerts with 2 outs coming in to score.
So David picks up his 108th RBI of the year. Stands at second base with 2 down, and it brings up Travis Shaw. Shaw's been batting 5th primarily and starting every day in first base for the Red Sox ever since the trade of Mike Napoli. Shaw hitting at .275 with 13 homers, 36 runs batted in. 2 for 8 so far in the series. Swing and a miss, and it's a ball and a strike to Shaw.
Pretty good velocity right there, 94 miles an hour, right down the middle of the plate, and Shaw a little bit late on it.
A big 3-run home run on Wednesday in New York against the Yankees. Total of 13 home runs for Shaw. A little bit low that time, and it's 2-1. Five games against Cleveland at .474 for Shaw. 2 homers and 3 runs batted in. David taking off for third, a delayed steal, and he's going to be out.
Whoa.
David thought he was
going. Big fella.
Whoa. Where are you going, Big Poppy?
Whoa.
Is caught stealing to end the inning. 1-0 Red Sox.
And that little thing can't fight a scorpion.
Absolutely. She said he preys on scorpions. How tough is that guy? That's pretty tough.
I'm not buying it.
And snakefish, whatever they are.
I still don't like praying mantises, to be honest with you, Jerry. All these years.
That was in Kansas City, wasn't
it? Was, yes. Yeah. And they were all over the place in Kansas City. I always think about that. Anytime I see Kansas City on TV or we go there, that they're there. Well, it's on to the bottom of the first inning. Francisco Lindor to lead it off. Red Sox on top 1-0. Lindor has been very impressive in this series. He shows bunt and takes the strike. Red Sox starting pitcher presented by your local New England Audi dealers. Rick Porcello making his 28th start of the year. 9-14 with a 5.02 earned run average. 142 strikeouts. Opponents hitting at .285 against him. There's a pitch down and in from Porcello. Last time out a win against the Yankees. 8 innings, giving up 4 runs. Walked a batter and struck out 8 to pick up his 9th win of the year. Trying to finish off the year on a good note. The ground ball, a couple hops down to first base, handled by Shaw, who tags the bag for the first out here in the bottom of the first inning.
Batting second for the Indians, the left fielder, number 1.
One down, and it brings up Michael Martinez. The 0-2 pitch. He's going to miss off the inside edge. Center fielder Mookie Betts step or two towards left center field. Martinez was signed as a non-roster invitee to Major. Center fielder Mookie Betts step or two towards left center field. Martinez was signed as a non-roster invitee to Major League camp, promoted from AAA on September the 4th. And this one fouled back to the screen. Some limited playing time since joining the Indians from AAA. Columbus. The 289 for Columbus this year. 5 home runs, played in 102 games for Columbus. Was 11th in the International League in average this year.
Now, Porcello's faced the Indians a lot. Not this season. He has not faced them this year, but in his career, 20 times with a 9-3 record.
Swing and a miss, and striking out is Martinez. First K of the day for Rick Porcello. 2 down.
And a good changeup that time by Porcello, keeping the ball down out of the strike zone and gets Martinez to chase. There's the change at the bottom of the strike zone, actually out of the strike zone, and Porcello picks up his first strikeout of the afternoon.
So 2 down here in the first inning brings up Lonnie Chisenhall. Lead swing fouled off over by the Indians dugout right off the facing of it.
Would you like to tell me where David Ortiz was going?
You know, the only thing to think of when you look at his numbers, he does not have a stolen bases here. So he wanted one. He probably wanted one.
Timing was not quite right.
No. This is down the line of third and a fair ball. That'll get down to the left field corner. Castillo over to play it. Heading for 2 is Chisenhall. Throw is off the mark, and he's got himself a 2-out double.
Chisenhall has been in and out of the lineup in this 3-game series, and he takes the Porcello pitch right down the third base line. Fastball away and slaps it right by the third baseman, Devin Marrero. And by the time Castillo can track it down, second base is Chisenhall's.
So 2 down, runner at second base, and brings up Carlos Santana. With a shift go the Red Sox on the right side on Santana. And a pitch outside for ball 1. Santana with 19 home runs now. Around the year, he wanted to go with 85 RBIs, 232 batting average as he takes a pitch outside, and now is ahead 2-0.
Now Santana's a guy that's had success too against Porcello, 324 with 3 career home runs. So Porcello going to be very careful with first base open.
Three and 0 now. The only member of the Red Sox infield on that left side. Everybody else stacked up on the right side here for Santana.
Sure, he's got the green light.
And he does swing at the 3-0, but fouls it off outside of first. 3-1.
Got those kind of numbers, man, in scoring position, 3-0 count. You've got to have the green light. Indians trying to answer the 1 run the Red Sox got, and there is strike 2, full count now. That's a good spot for that fastball. Keep the ball away. Santana looking for a ball middle in on the 3-1 count. Keeps the fastball away. Not the kind of pitch you want to swing at. 3-1.
High for ball 4, and he ends up walking Santana. So there's the first walk allowed by Porcello. Comes with 2 outs here in the first inning. 2 on, 2 down, and it brings up Jose Ramirez, second baseman. In there for a strike, and it's 0-1. So Ramirez come into games late in games here for the Indians. First couple games of the series, getting the start here today in the finale. Third stint with the Indians this year for Ramirez. Last time he was up before the September call-up was mid-July. Curveball that is going to miss outside. Porcello got Lindor to ground out to first base. Martinez to strike out. A double by Chisenhall down the left field line. They'll walk to Santana. So 2 on, 2 down. Line and caught at first base by Shaw. Nice play. Lunging in the air to make the grab. And the Indians do not score. It is 1-0 Boston. As the shadows start to cast down that left field line and around home plate, but the mound in the sunshine as Travis Shaw just made a very nice catch to end the bottom of the first inning. Leads it off here in the second inning. And he'll take strike one from Danny Salazar. Shaw, Castillo, and Swihart to bat in the inning. Here's a nice pick at first base. Aguilar laying it out over to cover the pitcher, and it's just in time. Salazar kind of took his time getting over there, and they almost did not get Shaw, but they do.
Wow, returning the favor to Shaw. Shaw made a great play to end last inning. Now Aguilar with a terrific play as he dives to his right and gives a very good feed to Salazar covering the bag. So both first basemen making fantastic plays here in the last couple of innings, last inning or so.
We understand we're still having technical difficulties from Cleveland, both on the audio side and video side, as we try to rectify that situation. One down here in the second inning. Rusney Castillo, the batter, as he takes strike one. Castillo at 257, 5 homers, 29 runs batted in, and we'll look at strike two right on that corner at 94. 13-game winner Danny Salazar on the mound today for the Indians as that pitch in the dirt. 30th start of the year for Salazar. Gave up a first inning run as Xander Bogaerts doubled with 2 outs, and Ortiz drove him in. Now swing and a miss, gets a long way away from Perez though, and reaching will be Castillo at first base.
That's how nasty that split thing at fastball is. I mean, Castillo swings at it, but it really dropped down toward the dirt and got by Roberto Perez, the catcher, and Castillo gets to first base. That might have been a breaking ball. It looked more like a breaking ball than a split thing at fastball.
Well, the strikeout, the wild pitch gets Rusney Castillo to first base with 1 out, and it brings up Blake Swihart. Six pitches so far for Salazar with 1 out here in the second inning. Double play depth for the Indians in the infield. In the air to shallow left. In comes Michael Martinez. Now back he goes a step or 2 and makes the catch for the second out. So 2 away and Castillo at first base. Devin Marrero coming up. Center fielder Abraham Almonte going over into right center field for Marrero to go the other way. Aguilar holding on. Castillo at first base. And a pitch high for ball 1. For the first, and back to the bag is Castillo. We're 0 for 3 so far in the series. 1-0 pitch is up high, and it's now 2-0. Third career Major League stint for Marrero after being called up from Pawtucket on the 5th of September. Here now in 25
games, made 12 starts. Most of them come at third base. Today marks the 10th start for him at third base. And the pitch is going to miss a little bit low that time as Salazar falls behind 3-0. I think we are fully back here now, audio and video wise, in Cleveland.
And we never left.
Well, we were always here.
Yep.
Apparently our pictures and sound was not.
Yeah, but we stayed for the game.
3-0 pitch in there for a strike, and it's 3-1. Now Shaw grounded out to first base. Rusney Castillo struck out but reached on a wild pitch. Swihart flying out to left. Foul back to the screen, and it's 3-2. On deck, Jackie Bradley Jr. batting out of the number 9 spot. First full count of the day for Salazar here in the second inning. Runner goes, and it's fouled back and out of play. Still be off again here with the full count and 2 down in the inning. First time Marrero was called up was in July, back on July the 21st. Second time up in August. And back up as a September call-up in his third major league stint on the 5th of September. Fouls it off to the right, out of play.
That good long at bat going on by Marrero, making Salazar throw a number of pitches. Fouling off a tough pitch there. Ball that was away from him could have been called a strike. Don't want to leave that kind of pitch in the umpire's hand right there. So you just take a swing at it, and that time it goes foul.
Swing and a miss, and striking out is Marrero. That is the third strikeout for Salazar. Red Sox have a 1-0 lead.
Towards right center field for Manny Ramirez. Deep, far, number 500 for Manny Ramirez. One of the greatest hitters the game has ever seen. Takes another step towards the hall.
1-0. Red Sox have the lead over the Cleveland Indians. And ironic that we are here in Cleveland, of course, where Manny Ramirez got his start in the major leagues and hit many of those 500 home runs as a member of the Indians. Jesus Aguilar batting here for the Indians. And so you forget about how good a hitter Manny Ramirez really was.
Probably the top right-handed hitter that I've ever seen. I think the two guys, Edgar Martinez and Manny Ramirez. Manny was so smart as a hitter. I mean, you know, and you talked about Cleveland. He was very happy here in Cleveland. He loved playing in this ballpark. Boston, it was kind of back and forth with him. You know, you never knew quite what to expect from Manny, but he was a thrill to watch, that's for sure.
Manny being Manny. As Aguilar will take a pitch that is up high. Aguilar's been coming off the bench.
He pinch hit the first two games of the series, but today gets the start at first base. Already made a very good defensive play. Check swing there, and he is down 1-2. Porcello got two quick outs in the first inning, but then gave up a double to Chisenhall. Walked Santana, and got Jose Ramirez to line out to first base. Shaw made a great catch. Line down the right field line, and it is a foul ball. I still think my all-time favorite Manny moment was when he cut off that ball like Johnny Damon threw in Fenway Park. Yeah, the cutoff. Yeah, Johnny Damon. That to me was. I still can see it like it was yesterday. Absolutely. Probably the best play Manny's ever made. Yeah, cutting that ball off. Diving. We understand our video problems and audio problems are back from Cleveland. Our apologies. 1-2 pitch is down low. Aguilar, Almonte, and Perez to bat here in the second inning. There's a liner to right field, and Bradley on the run gets there in time. Good run and catch by Jackie Bradley Jr. for the first out here of the second inning. So 1 out brings up Abraham Almonte. Marte, the center fielder, hitting at .249 with 5 home runs, 24 runs batted in. Fly ball to left field. Castillo ranges over towards the line and makes the catch for out number 2. 2 fly ball outs here in the second inning, and that'll take us to Roberto Perez. First time he was caught in the series. Yan Gomes caught the first 2 games of the series, and today Roberto Perez catching the day game after the night game. In there for strike 1 to Perez. Outfield straight away on Perez. The 62nd start of the year. And a possible 162 on the season with Gomes doing the bulk of the catching. He's been the backup. Takes strike 2. Indians taking the first 2 games of this series. Red Sox have a 1-0 lead today. Thanks to the RBI double by David Ortiz in the first inning. Full count now. Marcelo has a walk and a K through an inning in 2/3.
Swinging a foul tip, stay alive here. 3-2.
Bogart's really pulled over a long way. There's very little room between he and Marrero at third base.
Line down the left field line. It's going to head back towards the track of the wall. Castillo back there to play it. Heading for second is Perez, who'll get there standing with a 2-out double.
Well, both hits in the game so far for the Indians. Double. Chisenhall had one down that opposite field to left field, and now pulled to left field by Perez.
So 2 down, a runner at second, and here is Giovanni Urshela, the batter. On the outside corner for strike 1. Urshela batting 9th in the order today for the Indians. Second straight start down there at third base for the Tribe. .220 average, 6 homers, and 20 runs driven in. Line to center field. Betts coming in, and it's going to fall in front of him for a base hit. Perez coming around from third. The throw is off the mark, and the game is tied. Indians tie it up 1-1. A 2-out RBI single by Giovanni Urshela ties the game.
Now the bottom of the order getting it done for the Indians. 2 outs in the inning. Perez with a double down the single by Urshela. Drives in his 21st run of the season and ties the ball game up.
So runner at first with 2 down. Francisco Lindor coming up here. Grounded out to Travis Shaw at first base in the first inning. It takes strike 1. Now for the second straight inning, Porcello, after getting the first 2 outs of the inning, gives up a double. Did it in the first inning, and Lonnie Chisenhall double. Did it here in the second inning, Roberto Perez. This time the Indians get a run out of it. Check swing and a foul. It gets off Swihart.
Excuse me, right off the fingers, I believe, of Blake Swihart.
Brad Pearson, the head trainer, out there to check on him. Of course, we saw Hannigan fracture his fingers earlier this year and go on the DL.
See if he can grip the baseball. If he can, he's probably ready to go. Take a couple of throws, maybe.
Says he's good to go. So Swihart taking that foul tip off the fingers and stay in the game with 2 outs. Giovanni Urshela at first base. Lindor grounded out to first base in the first inning. Runner goes at first. Lindor with a soft liner that's caught by Xander Bogaerts. Racing in behind second to reel it in. Indians tie at 1-1. Back in Cleveland as the game now tied 1-1. The Indians coming up with a run in their half of the second inning. It is on to inning number 3, and it's Jackie Bradley Jr. leads it off here in the third inning. Bradley at .244 on the year as Danny Salazar deals with the pitch in there for strike 1. And working on the fingers of Blake Swihart. Well, the index finger looks like is where the problem is, and see if he stays in this game on the foul tip off the bare hand.
Yeah, that's very painful right there. Could break a finger. That's they're checking out right now.
Is that Clay Buchholz checking on him?
Yeah, Dr. Buchholz.
1-2 pitch is fouled back. Still 1-2.
How about you go to the doctor's office and you open a door and there's Clay Buchholz as your doctor.
I love Clay, but I'm pretty sure I want to see a doctor.
I try to run the other way.
Yeah. I'd like to have a professional take a look at it. This is out to center field. Back goes Almonte, and it's going to be over his head. One hops up and over. Ground rule double for Jackie Bradley Jr. opens up this third inning.
He played that horribly in center field. He really did. I mean, got a terrible jump on the ball and never seemed to be under control. It looked like one that, you know, if he makes the right moves out there in center field, he could have got to this ball from Bradley, but I don't know what he's looking at. He's looking at the grass, and then he looks up, and the baseball bounces over his head for the ground rule double.
You're not impressed with Abraham Almonte's effort on
not that particular one, Donald.
Leadoff double for Jackie Bradley Jr. And here's Mookie Betts. He struck out swinging in the first inning. 0 for 1. Now he fouls it off to the right, out of play.
As a matter of fact, on my scorecard, I had an F8. And I had to change it into a double.
So that's what you're really upset about more than anything else.
No, just the fact that, I mean, it was a very bad play, I thought.
And I wonder if Swihart's going to stay in this game. Dan Levangie, the acting bench coach over there, checking on him as well, as it's the report from Brad Pearson. Mookie struck out swinging in the first inning. 0 for 1. 3 Ks already for Danny Salazar today. And a swing and a miss as Betts chases that. A fastball that was up at 95 miles an hour.
And Salazar's got a good fastball. 94, 95, 96 at times with it. Good split-fingered fastball.
Reaches out, protects the plate, and fouls it off to the right.
That's a good job by Betts. That's a pitch that earlier in the season he was not making contact on and not able to foul it off. Those pitches away from him. He could always hit the ball middle in. But as the season has gone on, he's been able to handle those pitches away and at least foul them off.
Fly ball fouled again off to the right. Swihart grabbing his bat says the look of a guy who is done. So they'll probably go get that x-rayed. Seems to make sense. After the foul tip off the finger here. Headed to the clubhouse. Tough way to have your season end. 1-2 pitch. Yeah, a liner caught in the backhand. It's short by Lindor for the first out of the inning. Well, this postseason, MLB Network brings you 2 exclusive Division Series games, plus live coverage before and after every game on MLB Tonight. Visit MLBnetwork.com for schedule and your channel number. Then catch 2 series games on MLB Network. 1 out, Bradley Jr. at second base, and Dustin Pedroia, the batter. Flied out to the warning track in left field in the first inning. A 1-0 pitch, and that is up and in, and it is 2-0.
I got to say something, Don. You know, we look at the breakdown here, the pitch Austin, a lot of fastballs, and the breaking ball, a lot of split-fingered fastballs. I am very impressed today for a lot of reasons. But one reason is cameraman at home who shoots us in the open every night, Joe Stafford, actually flew out here this morning from Providence to be at your final game here with you. And just Joe sitting right behind us right here. Flew in from Providence this morning just to be here for our final game, in your final game here. And he's flying back tomorrow. I mean, there's no other reason to be here.
Unbelievable. Really unbelievable.
I turned around. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I thought he was here for a football game.
Yeah. I thought he was here to shoot the open. Thank him so much for being here and for this gesture of coming here to be here for my last game. I appreciate it. Of course, Joe's been there the entire time, shooting us in the open and with me in Pawtucket as well. And he knew how to shoot it. Remember, Jerry? He'd always get the camera in the exact spot that I wanted, so that I would have the thick flowing hair and the thin face was the look I was after. And I'm not sure he ever really achieved it. But
actually, you drove Joe crazy with that. I mean, Joe, he knows.
The right height. You can make anybody look better, and that's the key. And Joe's a master at it. But I really, really thank him for being here and being here for this.
That's pretty special. Pretty special.
50th pitch coming up here for Salazar with 1 out, and that is going to miss. Pedroia down to first with the first walk given up by Salazar. Let's take a closer look at Xander Bogaerts' breakout season as we look at some of the incredible numbers for Xander. .320 average, second in the American League behind Miguel Cabrera. 195 hits this year, seeking to become the youngest AL hits leader since Rickey Henderson back in 1981. This closer look brought to you by FW Web. Selection, expertise, solutions, more at FWWeb.com. So 2 on 1 away, and Xander Bogaerts the batter. And doubled in the first inning. Came around to score the Red Sox lone run on David Ortiz's RBI double. Bradley at second base, Pedroia at first with 1 out here in the visiting half of the third inning. And that's a strike over the outside corner. DraftKings.com is paying out over $300 million this baseball season. DraftKings giving out $34 million to Boston residents alone since the site launched. Get your free entry into one-day fantasy baseball contest today using promo code NESSN. Rolled over foul, and it's 1-2 here to Xander. I have to say that this is certainly unbelievable watching Xander this year, and the transformation that he has made has certainly been perhaps the highlight of the year. Really,
it has been for me. He's been an absolute pleasure to watch where he was a year ago and what he has become as a major league player all around. Defense, offense has been absolutely a pleasure to watch all season long.
Swing and a miss here, and he goes down on strikes. That's 4 strikeouts now for Salazar, and there are 2 down. Well, it's easy to start earning DD Perk rewards. Download the Dunkin' mobile app and enroll any DD card and perks right on the app. Message and data rates may apply. Red Sox Nation runs on Dunkin'.
You know, the best thing about Bogaerts, too, is he's a great player, but he's a great, great person, and I hope that never changes. You know, some guys get to the big leagues and they change as time goes on. I don't think that's going to happen to Xander. He's just too good a person, you know, and I want him to stay exactly the way he is.
He represents Aruba so well, and I love him so much. Speaks 4 different languages, Xander Bogaerts.
Not a day goes by where he doesn't make a point to come by and say hello to you.
Yep. 2 down, 2 on, and David Ortiz with a wild swing and a miss there.
Next thing you know, David will be dragging a bunt down the first baseline.
I mean, what's left?
Yeah.
I still can't believe he tried to steal third base.
I'm telling you, that's the reason. He does not have a stolen base, and that's why he tried to steal third base. A smart time to do it, you know.
I have to look this up. Did he have one last year? I mean, is this something that he has to have?
I don't know.
Okay. He was 2 for 2 stealing third last year, so he thinks he's faster going to third.
Yeah, he waits till the last game of the season. He's in scoring position at second base, and he decides to try to steal third base.
Ball and a strike here to Big Papi. And a check swing foul. In case you missed it, David Ortiz tried to steal third base.
Now watch this blazing. He's off. There he goes.
Goodness.
And he's out by 50 feet.
Wow.
What in the world David was thinking about?
You're probably right. Probably want to have one.
I'm telling you.
One.
I'm telling you. That's what it is. He's got a 0 under his stolen base column.
He doesn't
and
like
he
it.
wanted 1.
Line to second baseman as Ramirez in short right field in the shift makes the catch and ends the inning. Tied at 1. They struck him out. Red Sox win from worst to first in 2013. The AL East belongs to the Boston Red Sox. Back in Cleveland with the game tied 1-1 as we head to the bottom of the third inning. And a new catcher for the Red Sox, Blake Swihart, is indeed done, leaving the game with a right index finger contusion. Sandy Leon takes over now in behind the dish for Boston. Swihart headed for X-rays. So Porcello with a new battery made as this bottom of the third inning commences. Michael Martinez leading it off for the Tribe. Lonnie Chisenhall and Carlos Santana to follow. Bunt bid, but fouled back to the screen.
See, there's one I've never heard you use.
What's up?
This inning commences.
That's a first. I waited till my last game. I thought, no.
I mean, I didn't think you had anything left in the tank.
Oh, no, I got other stuff. I just didn't pull it out.
Oh, you're saving it?
Yes, I saved it till my last game. I'm going to try to get them all in, by the way, today, too. All of them for you.
Yeah, even if they don't happen, get them all in.
This is to left field, and Castillo's not going to get there. Gets down to the track and the wall. Back to play it is Castillo to second base with a leadoff double goes Michael Martinez.
Well, three of the four hits that the Indians have been doubles in this game. Martinez finding the gap in left center field for the two-base hit. Well, leadoff man in scoring position here with nobody out in the bottom of the third inning.
So Martinez at second base to get it started. Lonnie Chisenhall, the batter. He doubled in the first inning. Center fielder Mookie Betts over towards right center field. Good sized gap out there in left center for Chisenhall, but only a pull hitter. There's 7 home runs on the year. He takes it the other way this time, and it'll drop in front of Castillo. To third base with a head first slide goes Martinez. He wasn't entirely sure, so we got a late break. And it's now first and third with nobody out.
Now, he got trapped in the middle. He didn't read that ball very well at all, did Martinez. He thought the ball was going to maybe be caught by Rusney Castillo, so he only gets as far as third base when he probably should have scored. I mean, what are the things they teach you when you get on second base? Check where the outfielders are playing. And if they're deep, a ball like that, you should be going.
So first and third with nobody out, and Carlos Santana, the batter, he walked in the first inning. Curveball drops in there for a strike from Porcello. Indians have had base runners in every inning. They left 3 on through the first 2. Got a run in the second. Now a double and a single to begin this third. And a swing and a miss that time for Santana.
Good changeup by Porcello that time down and away. Trying to get a ground ball here to try to get a double play and minimize the damage here in the third inning.
No 2 pitch coming up here to Santana. And that one he kind of yanked down and in. Santana with a walk in the first inning, the only walk given up by Porcello. Red Sox in the shift on the right side. Runner goes at first, and a ground ball wide of first and foul. Rick Porcello in his first year with the Red Sox, 9-14 this year coming into this outing. Of course, last year had the nifty ERA of 3.43 with the Tigers, and hope for more of the same this year. Didn't work out. That's for the first, and back to the bag is Chisenhall. Certainly much better since he came off the DL, though. Gone for better than a month, and coming back more along the lines of what we expected from Rick Porcello when they got him.
Yeah, everything has had more life since he's come off that disabled that tricep injury.
Swing and a miss, and he's able to get Carlos Santana to strike out. It's the second strikeout for Porcello, and he needed that.
Yeah, it's a big strikeout. First and third situation as he goes to the cross seam fastball, and it rides up and away from Santana to pick up the strikeout. Santana has struck out now 121 times on the season, but also has walked 107 times.
First and third with 1 out, and Jose Ramirez the batter. Outside for ball 1. This has all been taxing innings so far for Porcello. Fouled off to the left out of play, and it evens at 1-1. It's allowed 5 hits so far in a run, with the Indians threatening for more here in the third inning as they've tied the game. And this one gets away. On a throw to first, they will take the lead. Martinez in from third base. On the errant throw, it appeared by Porcello. Up to second goes Chisenhall, and Cleveland takes a 2-1 lead.
Yeah, that was called from the dugout. They wanted a pickoff attempt at first base, and Porcello just throws it away. So a gift run for the Indians.
Error charge to Porcello, allowing that run to score. Now grounder by the dive of Porcello to second base. Throw to first is in time as taking third base Chisenhall, but now with 2 down in the inning. Jesus Aguilar coming up here now for the Tribe. He lined out to the right fielder Jackie Bradley Jr. in the second inning. base comes Chisenhall. An RBI single for Aguilar, and the Indians take a 3-1 lead.
That's the second time he hit the ball hard today. One was a line drive to right field, and now he goes to left field with a line drive to drive in a run.
So 2 down, Aguilar at first base, and Abraham Almonte the batter. Almonte flied out to left field first time up. Pitch in there for a strike 1. On the ground, foul outside of first base, and it is 0-2. Fractured the bat. We'll need a new one. There's a couple of different choices here. And he began with a double by Michael Martinez. He singled by Chisenhall. First and third. Santana struck out. The errant throw by Porcello to first base allowed a run to score, and then Ramirez grounded out to second, and then Aguilar with an RBI single. The Indians on top 3-1. Almonte lays off. That's playing for Almonte to pull, the center fielder for the Red Sox, into right center field. Nine and 14 record for Porcello coming into this outing today, and now trailing by 2 runs. Fouled off to the left out play. Still 2-2 to Almonte. It's been a 20-pitch inning for Porcello. None have been easy so far for him today.
This has been a real struggle for him through the first 3 innings.
Again, we apologize for our technical difficulties today from Cleveland. Payoff pitch coming to Almonte with 2 outs. Runner at first base, and Aguilar will be off. And a swing and a miss. Got him off balance to strike out. 2 runs for the Indians, who take a 3-1 lead.
Introducing 72-hour rewind from DirecTV. When you connect your DirecTV DVR to the internet, you can instantly go back in time and watch shows that aired up to 3 days ago. Catch up on shows you might have missed, even if you didn't record them. Don't just watch TV. DirecTV.
In the shift on the right side against him. Playing about straight away in the outfield on Shaw. Lifts a fly ball down the left field line. Martinez with a long run over towards the corner, and he's there to make the catch for the first out of the fourth inning. Red Sox season ticket plans are now available for the 2016 season. For information about becoming a Red Sox season ticket holder, call 617-226-6888 or visit redsox.com/season tickets today. Jerry, looking at Danny Salazar, I bet you like the way he wears his stirrups.
Well, you know, I'm not used to that anymore, but that was the old way of wearing them. Yes, you're exactly right. High pants with the stirrups way up high, and
I mean, you wore them that way, right?
Yeah.
Not quite that high, maybe, but
yeah. Yeah, we wore them. We wore them like that. Sometimes the pants will pull down a little bit more than that, but yeah, that's the old time look right there. I don't know if I like it anymore. It's kind of like the new look. I think the new look makes you look taller. You know.
Now I can see where that would be an issue.
An issue with me, yeah.
I didn't want to say that, but you know what I mean.
No, I know exactly what you mean. Now, see, when you wear pants like that, it makes you look taller, I think, you know, and slimmer and all that kind of stuff.
1-2 pitch chop to first base. Aguilar backing up on it. Will now take it himself and retire Castillo. 2 down. Well, tonight at 7:30, tune in to the Ultimate Red Sox show presented by AAA. Adam Pellerin will recap the best moments from the 2015 Red Sox season. 2 outs here in the fourth inning, 4 in a row. Retired by Salazar. There's Sandy Leon to bat for the first time as he took over for Blake Swihart. Swihart leaving the game with the index finger contusion on his right hand after a foul tip off that bare hand. Two and 0. Salazar now has a 2-run lead to work with. Run he allowed back in the first inning, the RBI double by David Ortiz. Leon, who played in last night's game, was 2 for 3 in the ball game last night. 3-1. Swing and a miss and a full count. 95 on the fastball for Salazar. That's where he's been living pretty much in this game. Jammed and a pop-up in foul ground as Urshela heads over but has no play. Well, just one Nexium 24-hour day gives you all-day, all-night protection from frequent heartburn. Go to Nexium24hour.com for savings and to pick up Nexium 24-hour at your local Stop and Shop. 2 outs here in the top half of the fourth inning. Payoff pitch. And Leon strikes out to end the fourth. 3-1 Indians on top.
Mouse.
Man's man, Jerry. Man's man.
Hey, we're going to be paying tributes all day long to you, and I know you're going to address the fans later on in the ball game, but I'd like to take a moment to say something now that the last 15 years has been an absolute pleasure working with you, and we've grown a lot together. We've gone through a lot together, and I value your professionalism in the job, and also the fact that we're very good friends, and I'm going to miss that tremendously. And I want to thank you for all the fun moments that we've had and your friendship. And it's today's a tough day for everybody. It really is. And I wish you the best in the new digs out in San Diego. I know you're going to love the weather, but my friend, it's been a lot of fun.
I thank you very much, my friend, and we have been through a great deal over the years.
Yep.
As personally on the field, off the field, but every day has been with you. I've spent more time with you than anybody else in the last 15 years. I mean, it's unbelievable.
That's why you've morphed into me.
I have. I've become you. I'm going to be sitting in a lobby someplace at like 9 in the morning for a night game.
You already don't go out after games anymore. You go right to your room.
Right to my room. It's unbelievable. Pitch is now in the dirt, and it is 2-2 here to Roberto Perez, who leads it off in the bottom of the 4th inning. The 2-2 pitch here to Perez. And a pitch in there for strike 3. Perez knew it, takes with him the 4th strikeout for Porcello. And 1 down here in the 4th inning. Giovanni Urshela now the batter, single to center field to drive in a run in the 2nd inning. Pitch and a check swing. Did he go? He did go. Offering that time. One pitch and a liner into center field for a base hit off the bat of Urshela.
He's had a good day. 2 for 2. Had a base hit in the 2nd inning to drive in a run. Now the line drive up the middle for the 1-out base hit here in the 4th inning.
1 out, 1 on, and Francisco Lindor coming up here. Been impressed with Lindor in this series.
Yeah, he's a good player. You think of some of the young shortstops in the American League, very, very impressive. Career down in Houston, and you got Lindor here at the Indians. You got Bogarts. All very young players and very, very talented guys.
Lindor coming into this game hitting at .316. We've seen his defensive play at shortstop been outstanding. No 1 pitch. And a pop-up foul off to the left out of play. Just a beautiful day today in Cleveland for the finale of the 2015 season. After we had pretty cold conditions here on Friday night, lots of wind, yesterday lots of rain, and today just blue skies above. Lights on as we play late day baseball. And a swing and a miss. Elevated that time, did Porcello. And he strikes out Lindor. That's 5 strikeouts now for Porcello.
Yeah, when the Red Sox come back here, it's going to be their next stop because the Red Sox open up in Cleveland next year.
So they'll finish here and start here.
And start here. 3-game series to open up the 2016 season.
And 2 down, Urshela at first base. Held on by Shaw. And here is Michael Martinez. A swing and a miss. Pretty good hack there. Martinez struck out swinging in the first inning, doubled and scored in the third. Understand we are back here once again. We apologize for our technical difficulties. Michael Martinez batting with 2 down. Urshela at first base. Very short lead over there for Urshela. And it's high to Martinez for ball 1. Outfield straight away here on Martinez. In there for strike 3, and Porcello ends up striking out the side. That's 6. It's 3-1 Indians. United back. Some notable dates for the 2016 season. Spring training exhibition games in Montreal, April 1st and 2nd against the Blue Jays. Season opener on April 4th, as Jerry mentioned, back here in Cleveland. Home opener April the 11th against Baltimore. And 2016 interleague opponents will be the National League West. So it is on here to the 5th inning with the Indians on top of the Red Sox 3-1. Salazar back on the mound, and Evan Marrero leading it off here for the Red Sox, down 0-2.
There's that good split-fingered fastball again to get that swing and miss from Marrero. Got one of the best ones in the business.
On the ground softly towards third. Urshela on the run and in time to get Marrero. That is 6 in a row now retired by Salazar. And it'll bring up Jackie Bradley Jr.
Stepping in as the right fielder, Jackie Bradley Jr.
Bradley with a double in the 3rd inning. One of 3 hits the Red Sox have today off Salazar. A little bit low apparently, and it is now 2-0. Second career start against the Red Sox for Salazar. Earned the win in his first outing against the Red Sox back on August 17th. That was at Fenway Park, an 8-2 win. He went 7 strong innings, allowing just 1 run on a solo home run from Travis Shaw. Pitch in there for a strike, and it's 3-1. On the ground and through the left side of the infield, and Jackie Bradley Jr. is 2 for 2 in the ball game.
That's something you don't see very often. Jackie Bradley Jr. going to the opposite field on the ground for the base hit.
Now, for every Red Sox game that goes into extra innings or the Sox get a save, CBS Pharmacy will make a donation to Children's Hospital towards a $25,000 commitment once again this season. CBS Pharmacy, the official pharmacy of the Boston Red Sox. 1 out, Bradley at first base. And Mookie Betts the batter. 0 for 2 in the game. He has struck out swinging, lined out to shortstop. In there for a strike, and it is 0-2. Abraham Almonte, the center fielder, over towards right center field and playing for Betts to go the other way. Mookie hits it in the air to left field down the line as Martinez heads towards the line. He will get there to make the catch for the second out of the inning, and Mookie Betts 0 for 3 on the day. So 2 down, Bradley at first base, and that'll take us to Dustin Pedroia. That's Jerry. That's certainly Dustin, one of my all-time favorite players. To be around him has been an incredible pleasure. And this guy, I mean, you talk about gamer. To me, he is the ultimate gamer.
Yeah, he is, you know, and when you think about baseball players, I mean, guy that gets to the ballpark, he's the first guy there every single day. He's always talking baseball. He'll talk to anybody that was willing to listen, and if you're not listening, he'll yell. You know, so I mean, he's great. You know, he's great in the clubhouse. He plays as hard as you can possibly play this game of baseball, day in and day out. He's got some of the funniest lines I've ever heard. You know, when he first came up, and he was like that when he first came to the big league.
And he was terrible. And I remember he was hitting $150 into May.
I was saying to myself, "This guy kidding me?" But you know, he remained consistent. I mean, he never stopped. He was, you know, that's just him.
No, he does not lack confidence.
No,
there's no,
not at all.
He has never lacked confidence. That goes back to his days in Arizona, in his college level career, and it's amazing. Certainly appreciate being around him for so many years, and also Terry Francona, who I want to send my best to, and certainly very thankful for his friendship over the years. And kind of interesting, my last game here with the Red Sox is against the Cleveland Indians, and with Terry Francona being here as well. He's been a great loyal friend. When he's not attacking me or trying to hurt me or do anything else.
Yeah, you love it.
Still pleased with the amount of punches I got off.
Yeah, but you hit all flab.
I know, but I think I felt like I won that round. This is to center field, shallow. Incoming is Almonte. He is there, and he makes the catch that ends the top of the 5th inning. 3-1 Indians.
Ramirez chops it up over the mound. Into center. Here comes Renteria. The Red Sox take the 4-3 lead. Manny's back, and he's back big.
This one is on the ground to first base, and Shaw will take it himself to the bag to get Lonnie Chisenhall. That was a big day. I remember that, Jerry. That was great. Then he was back, and he was back big being Manny. That's after we thought he was going to be traded. Remember, that was right around the trade deadline. He was not, and had not played leading up to those last couple of days. He plays in that game after not playing up. Fully expected to be traded that year. Of course, he would be traded later on.
And Manny decided he didn't want to play for a while.
Right. Yeah. He just decided his hamstring was a little sore. But he came back. And
I'll play today.
Yeah. So 1 out for Carlos Santana. And a pitch in there for a strike to Santana. Into the shift on the right side here on Santana, who has walked and struck out as the pitch is going to miss. Santana, who's made the shift from catching to first base. Today he is the DH, with Aguilar getting the start at first base. To right field, and over goes Bradley towards the line. He was over there anyway, and he makes the catch for the second out here of the 5th inning. So 2 down, and that'll bring up Jose Ramirez. Ramirez lined out to first in the first, grounded out to second base in the third. That'll drop in there for strike 2. Porcello looking for an easy inning if possible. He's had to work pretty hard in some of the other ones, and last inning, one of his better innings, certainly striking out the side. Did give up a base hit in the inning. Through 63 pitches through the first 3 innings of this effort. Total of 5 men left on so far by the Indians, who enjoy a 3-1 lead. This one fouled off himself, and it hangs here at 1-2. Action for the first time for the Cleveland Indians. They have a left-hander up, Crockett, who had been warming up in last night's game as well. There is a 1-2 pitch. And a liner to right center field. That's going to get in for a hit as Bradley moves over to cut it off. It is a 2-out single for Jose Ramirez.
Been a real struggle today. It really has for Porcello. He hasn't had any really easy innings in this ballgame. He did have 3 strikeouts in the 4th, but had a single sandwiched in there. Looked like it was going to be a 1-2-3 inning here, but now the 2-out single.
So 2 down, Ramirez at first. Jesus Aguilar 1 for 2 in the ball game with an RBI single. That was his last time up as Porcello checks at first base on Ramirez. Another throw over and off the bag to retrieve that is Shaw. Porcello already charged with an error earlier in the ball game. A throwing error to first base was very costly. Allowed Michael Martinez to score the second Indians run and put him on top. Runner goes. The pitch is a ball, and the throw is not good. It gets through. And stopping at second base, getting back there is Ramirez. Looked like that throw actually hit him.
Yeah, that throw just sailed on Sandy Leon. I mean, he's usually very accurate throwing at second base, but that one took off on him, and Ramirez able to pick up his 10th steal of the season. Had a very good jump at first base, so probably rushing it was Leon, and that ball just got away, backed up by Bogaerts. Hit him off the backside, it looked like.
No runner at second and 2 down. Aguilar here, the chance to drive in a run. And he gets a base hit to left field. We'll see if they send Ramirez. They're going to. Up and throwing is Castillo. It's a good throw, and he's going to be very out at the plate. Nicely done by Castillo. So a base hit for Aguilar, but it ends the inning. The play at the plate. 3-1 Indians. Nesson is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Well, it's on to the 6th inning with the Indians on top 3-1, and it is Xander Bogaerts. 1 for 2 in the ball game as Xander will take strike one. Xander with a double back in the first. Came around to score the Red Sox lone run. He struck out in the third. Ground ball that is going to stay foul outside of first base.
Rusney Castillo picking up his 6th assist of the season. Puts a beautiful charge on that ball and all the way in the air to home plate. Leon just waiting for the runner to come in, and maybe a little earlier in the season you would have had a little more contact than what you had right here. But a nice throw by Rusney Castillo.
Incidentally, that is the 4th outfield assist he's had from left field this year. Xander Bogaerts had broken his bat, so he now has a new one. Down on the count, 0-2. On the ground, foul into the photographer's well and back out again, just beyond the Indians' dugout. 196 is where he is sitting right now, with a double back in the first inning. Leader right now, Jose Altuve of the Astros. Swing and a miss as Bogaerts strikes out for the first out here of the 6th inning. It's 6 Ks now for Salazar.
There's that split-fingered fastball again from Salazar. Very good one, and out comes Terry Francona, so that may be it. Look at Ortiz. Ortiz is standing at home plate when Francona come out. He put his arms out to the side. You kidding me? You're going to get the left-hander for me?
Unbelievable. Yeah, the pitching change here from Cleveland. That's a day for Salazar. Finished on a good note. Picked up his 6th K. Departs for the 3-1 lead.
We just found out in between innings that it's reversible. It's awesome. Look at this thing. It's like a smoking jacket. Look at
Yeah, when you get back to your room, you can light up a big pipe. Oh, God.
This is great.
The powder blue jacket never made its way out because it's not an Abood, unfortunately, as you might imagine.
I don't think so. It's a Babood.
Yes.
Jimmy Babood.
Yeah. Well, David Ortiz batting here with one out. Pitching change for the Indians and a big cut there. It's 0-2.
I loved Ortiz's reaction when Tito came out. No, here's a look at the Babood.
Look at that.
Reversible.
Fabulous.
That looks terrific.
Yes. On the ground foul to the end of the dugout.
Here's David Ortiz when Tito came out to take out the pitcher, bringing a left hand. Are you kidding me? What are you doing?
You don't always get that reaction from a hitter when the other manager comes out.
No.
No 2 pitch. And that is outside. 1-2. I'll miss being around David Ortiz. That's for sure. I'll miss being around that smile. I mean, he can light up a room, and I'll tell you what, this guy gets it. And certainly we've known that over the years in the community in Boston, and he realizes his significance in Boston as this one is grounded foul. That's a pretty good individual right there, David Ortiz. And he asked me a couple years ago what I thought the greatest hitter I've ever seen for the Red Sox in my time. And I said, yeah, I had to think about it a little bit. I said, it's tough. And he said, who's it between? And I said, it's between you and Manny. And he said, Manny was a better hitter.
Yeah.
And I thought it was pretty interesting. The 1-2 pitch is outside, and it is 2-2. Ball 3, full count. That was a pretty good 3-4 combination there for a while, though. Ortiz and Ramirez.
That was real good. I mean, those were pretty special times watching those two guys get after it.
He enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's not bad when you can make your lineup card. You get Ortiz, Ramirez,
yeah,
back to back.
I remember there was a time he was trying to figure out who should hit where as they went back and forth on that for a while. David's going to work a walk here, one down in the 6th inning. Send it down to Guerin.
Hey, thanks, Don. Well, the other day you and Jerry were talking about Francona's bucket and how it says Tito on it, and you were asking, why does he need his own bucket? Well, I went to his press conference and I asked him, and he looked at me and he said, it's because I've arrived. And then he put his head down on the podium and said, it's full of gum that is unwrapped. Tito said that he chews so much gum and he has to have an entire bucket that is waiting for him. Don?
I think that is disgusting. That whole area in there, Jerry, that stuff. And I'm not buying that is all gum, by the way. That story is not true. This one is fouled off.
Don?
Yes, Karen?
Well, one of the reporters said, Tito, isn't that unsanitary? And he looked at them and said, I don't care.
Now that I can see. That I can definitely see. But that thing over his left shoulder does not look like gum to me, Jerry. Would you agree? That open package there?
No, that's not gum.
That's not gum.
I've never seen gum in the like that.
This one is fouled off to the left, out of play.
Tito's a classic. I went in there yesterday to say hello, and he comes out and he's all sweaty, and I said, "What are you doing?" And he said, "I'm on a machine where I can run, but I don't have to run." I said, "What?" He says, "Yeah, it's one of those new machines where you can run, but you don't run." I said, "What are you talking about?" You know. But he was getting some kind of workout. I don't know, that saves his knees, and he's not able to. I don't get it. I didn't even have to see the thing because.
Oh boy, he's saluting us again. 1 out, 1 on.
I think that's just a habit.
It's got some odd timing, though, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. Is he listening to the game?
There's no way he has Nesson on in that dugout. The 0-2 pitch is into right field for a base hit, as Alan Craig, who's pinch running for David Ortiz, takes second base. And Shaw aboard here with a base hit. And here comes Mr. Gross again. He's going to make a change again with one out here in the 6th inning, as the Indians have a 3-1 lead from Cleveland.
He's got pizza on his face. Highly unnecessary.
That with the Patriots jacket, and of course he's been asked to leave the ball game for ruining a good piece of pizza. So he's got beer all over. And here goes.
Have some pizza. That stood the test of time right there, that one.
Yeah, I got a few favorites, but that was a good one. I'm not sure it's number one in my book, but it was pretty good.
Yeah. 3-1, the Indians have the lead here. Pitching change for the Tribe to bring on their third arm of the day. A lot of times people ask us if we script those. And I can honestly tell you, we have never once scripted them. It just sort of happens.
You just come to the park and you just don't know what you're going to see. Things just happen.
And we have a knack for finding things happening in the ballpark. McAllister's 61st appearance, 4-4, the 3.04 earned run average, 84 strikeouts to 22 walks. Comes in here with runners at first and second, one down. And Rusney Castillo struck out but reached in a wild pitch in the second, grounded out to first base in the 4th inning. Crockett came in and faced two batters. He walked David Ortiz and then allowed a base hit by Travis Shaw. He departs. McAllister comes in, and this is up and in to make it 2-0. Danny Salazar's pitching line brought to you by your Eastern Lexus dealers. 5 1/3, 4 hits, 1 run, a walk, and 6 Ks through 92 pitches. And the pitcher of record right now for the Indians. There's a liner to right. Chisenhall will make the catch out there in right field for the second out of the inning. No advance for the base runners. So 2 outs, and that'll bring up Sandy Leon. And David Ortiz with handshakes and hugs all the way around. He's been pinch run for in this inning by Alan Craig.
Well, the Red Sox will certainly take those numbers again next year.
No doubt about it. 37 home runs, 108 RBIs with an RBI today back in the first inning. It looked like at one point, Jerry, there was no chance he was getting 3,100, and not only he blew by it.
Yeah, he really got hot in the second half of the season. Weather warmed up, and So did David Ortiz.
"22 second-half home runs for David Ortiz." This is a swing and a miss. That's production. Ended up batting .323 in the second half, did Big Papi. And .231 in the first half. Leone taking a ball, and it's 2-1. Took over for Blake Swihart, who left this game after a foul tip off his index finger. Initially announced as a contusion. Sure, he's getting it x-rayed. Two-one pitch to Leone. And a pop-up into shallow left center field. From left comes Michael Martinez, and he'll make the catch. It ends the inning. 5.5 done from Cleveland. It is 3-1. Indians on top. Field, Bill Miller has just hit a grand slam. Retaining players as well, and tonight is the save. Bill Miller high and deep to right field. The trifecta for Bill Miller, his third home run of the night. Back in Cleveland, where the Indians have a 3-1 lead, as Rick Porcello's pitching line is brought to you by Ace Ticket. 5 innings, 9 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned, a walk, and 6 Ks. About to throw his 90th pitch of his outing. And a ground ball base hit into center field for Abraham Almonte to begin things here in the 6th inning.
At the bottom of the batting order, doing a pretty good job for the Indians today. Almonte picks up his first hit. Perez has a double, and Urshela, who will hit third in this inning, has 2 hits.
So Almonte at first base to get this 6th inning started. Here is Roberto Perez, the catcher. Doubled in the 2nd, struck out looking in the 4th inning. '28th start of the year for Porcello, even with that time on the DL. And today looking for double figures in wins, trying to get his 10th. Trailing in the game. There's a double play ball up the middle. Bogarts to second for one, on to first for two. 6 to 4 to 3 on the DP, and there are 2 outs here in the 6th inning.
Yeah, Bogarts shuffling it right out of his glove to Dustin Pedroia to get the double play. That ball hit very hard by Perez. But Bogarts goes to his left, shuffles it out of his glove right into the glove of Dustin Pedroia, and the Red Sox pick up a quick 2.
So 2 down in the inning, and it brings up Giovanni Urshela. Urshela has singled twice, both to center field, and driven in a run. Dribbles that one foul, and evens the count at 1-1. Look out. And the breaking ball slipped out of his hand. Fouled off to the right, out of play. Off to the right of us. 2-2. Single for Almonte, but quickly erased on the 6-4-3 double play for Rick Porcello as Roberto Perez grounded into it. '96 pitch coming up for Porcello, and Urshela grounds another one, foul outside of third. Well, of course, after today, everybody heading home. Various spots across the world, really, for a lot of these players. Think about, Jerry, the long grind that you have during the course of the season. Starts in February and ends for a lot of teams today.
Yeah, it's one of the strangest feelings when you get up on Monday morning and there's no game to play.
Well, nice play turned in here by Devin Marrero. Across the body throw that gets there in time. We get to the 7th.
Premier restaurants, all you can eat, all you can drink, a 12-piece band, and a live auction.
Yeah, it is elegance at its best. We're bringing you to a castle. Does it?
Mason Extra Innings Live right after the game. TC, Jim, and Steve will recap the 2015 season and look towards 2016. Whatever, whenever, wherever. Who but WB Mason? Now it's on here to the 7th inning back in Cleveland. Indians have a 3-1 lead. And Devin Marrero just made a very nice play from third base, and he leads it off here and takes strike one. Now, Jerry, you're saying tomorrow certainly a strange day for everybody after All of this every day, the grind of a Major League Baseball season has got to be very strange to wake up tomorrow at home.
Yeah, it's a long season, Don. I mean, 162 games plus all those days in spring training, and it's such a routine that you get into as a player and as a coach and anybody that follows the ball club, and then all of a sudden you wake up tomorrow morning and there's nothing. You don't have to be at the ballpark today.
Nowhere to be. It gives players a great deal of chance really to feel better. Certainly they do not at this point. All the nagging injuries throughout the course of the year. Two-one pitch. And that is in there for a strike. 2-2.
It's funny though, guys nowadays they don't take that much time off.
No.
They get back in the weight room, and they might take a few weeks off to just relax, do nothing, enjoy themselves a little bit, and then it's back to getting some type of preparation going for next season. Pedroia, I don't think Pedroia has a hobby, does he? I mean, his hobby is baseball.
Right. This is it.
This is it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what he does in the offseason.
I'll tell you what he doesn't enjoy doing is flying. He does not like to fly.
No.
That is going to miss, and Morero's got himself a leadoff walk to begin things here in the 7th inning.
Batting for Boston, right fielder
Morero at first base, and it brings up Jackie Bradley Jr. Bradley has doubled and singled, 2 for 2 in the ball game from the number 9 spot. Red Sox trailing by 2 as they bat here in the top of the 7th inning. And a pitch in there for a strike. Game 162 of the year for the Red Sox. And trailing in this one after dropping the first 2 games of this series here in Cleveland. On the ground right side, and able to pick it is Ramirez. His throw to first. What a play.
Yeah, that's something there. That really is. I mean, he shows great range going to his left. He uses the outfield to increase his range. That's what second baseman can do because they got a short throw. Spins and still gets Bradley at first base. That's a pretty nifty play right there by Jose Ramirez.
In honor of David Ortiz's 500 home runs, Alltown will double their $500 donation to the Cystic Fibrosis Multiple Sclerosis Fund. Alltown is New England's premier healthier convenience retailer. Terry Francona back to the mound here after Zach McAllister is able to get the first out of this inning, responsible for the runner at second. And they will make a pitching change here, I think. As right now, conversation took the baseball. Looks like Manship coming in. Yes, there is someone coming in, so that pitcher on the mound has to leave. 3-1, Cleveland has the lead. miss the Bruins home opener as the Winnipeg Jets come into town. Catch a special season preview episode of The Breaks at 6. And pregame coverage starts at 6:30, followed by the puck drop at 7. Now here in the 7th inning. Thank you very much. Born in Melrose, Mass. Melrose Wakefield. 3-1 as Cleveland has a lead here over the Red Sox. And it is Mookie Betts to lead it off. Betts 0 for 3, has struck out, lined out to short, and flied out to left. With the runner at second base here, he takes a pitch up and in. So the fourth arm used here for Terry Francona today for the Cleveland Indians. Jeff Manship into the game, 32nd appearance, 1-0. Nifty 0.93 earned run average. 33 strikeouts, 10 walks. Opponent sitting at 157 against Manship. And the pitch in there for a strike. 1-1 to Betts. Now, like tomorrow, where are you going to sit at like 10 in the morning? I mean, if you're not going to be in a lobby somewhere on the road, I mean, what are you going to drive to a local hotel?
Yeah, I'm going downtown Boston. And then
sit in their lobby?
I'll be in the lobby from about 10:30 to 1 when the bus leaves, and then I'll go back home.
Because that's become your hobby.
Yeah.
Now, I mean.
I don't know. Oh, I got an appointment tomorrow.
Okay.
So I'm all set tomorrow.
Okay.
But, after that, yeah.
Because I'd come meet you and we can sit in a lobby together tomorrow.
Well, you're not a lobby sitter. You stay in your room right till the bitter end.
No, but I'd sit with you tomorrow if you wanted to. I mean, just, that's what you do.
Well, maybe sometime this week we can set a date. We can meet at a hotel halfway between where you live and I live, and we can just sit in the lobby.
Sit in the lobby for hours.
You got to find a busy lobby though. It's good people watching.
Activity. 2-2 the count to Mookie Betts, who hits one on the ground sharply to third. Urshela looks the runner back at second and then throws out Betts for the second out here of the 7th inning.
Yeah, I'm getting really bad. Things are, I don't know, it's like getting weird. I mean, this lobby thing, I never did that before.
This is new. I mean, this is within the last couple months, I'd say, right? At
yeah,
this time of day.
last 2 months. It's been like out of control.
12:31 used to be lobby time for you, and now it's as the year's gone on, now you're there at 6:45 in the morning sometimes. It's very early.
It's not that early, but it's way too early. It really is. It's dumb. And even my wife, she says to me, "Why are you going to the ballpark so early?" I don't know. I have no idea. Yeah. I just feel like going.
There's nobody else here yet. There's
nobody there when I get there. I just sit there and I just stare out at the ballpark. I don't know. Things are very bizarre.
You're the field starer. The 0-1 to Pedroia. He cannot hold up. Goes around, makes it 0-2.
I was a little bit like that as a player, though.
First at the ballpark?
I used to get to the ballpark early, I was a very quick out, very early in.
So Rutledge on deck there. He'll be batting for Xander Bogaerts. Imagine we'll have some changes here moving along to the later innings. Were you also first out after a game?
No, not first. No, not first. No, we sit around for a little bit, but I wasn't like a lingerer, a guy that stood in there for a long time. I'd get out, and if I had a really bad night, I was
gone,
out, shower and gone.
I bet you really enjoyed talking to the media after.
I know. I hated it. I didn't like it at all.
No. This one rolled over foul. We'll do it again. 1-2.
My favorite one was I was at the end of my career and my knee was just gone, and I'm trying to battle through this thing, and I know the end is coming around the corner, and Monty Barrett went in and played a great game, terrific game. And Johnny Miller comes running up to me.
Oh boy!
Comes running to me after the game and asked me, "How do you think Marty Barrett played tonight?" So I said, I got upset, and then I felt bad that I got upset, and I went back to apologize to him.
Well, Pedroia is out number 3 of this top of the 7th inning. We head to the bottom of the 7th, 3-1 Indians.
That's awesome. That is so great. Oh, look at this. Now that is a light. This whole area is lit up now.
Huh?
That's awesome. Thank you. Very, very nice.
Best gift I ever got. This was
gift's
pretty
not
good,
too
too.
bad either.
No, this is really good. And again, I appreciate whoever did that. It's truly from the bottom of my heart. That is unbelievable. And I'm flying around this ballpark today. And thank you so very much from our last broadcast here with the Red Sox as we play along to the bottom of the 7th inning. You didn't do that, did you, Jerry? You're not responsible for that, are you?
I don't have that kind of cash.
No.
I would make a little sign and put it up, but I couldn't hire a plane and fly one around.
Let's check out today's game summary. It's brought to you by Xfinity. Nick Porcello, 6 innings, giving up 2 earned runs of the 3 that he allowed. 1 was unearned. David Ortiz driving in the only Red Sox run. Danny Salazar, pitcher of record on the winning side right now for Cleveland, went 5 1/3, giving up 1 run. Aguilar 2 for 3. Urshela 2 for 3 for the Indians offensively. Changes here for the Red Sox as we play along to this bottom of the 7th inning. It is Rutledge now at 3rd base. And Marrero moves from 3rd base to shortstop. His more natural position. He was drafted as first rounder by the Red Sox, now at shortstop. Porcello out there for the 7th inning.
I tell you, you know what my favorite one is?
Which one?
The bloopers. Not the bloopers, but these reels, the eclipse.
Yes, that was unbelievable. Very embarrassing for me, but unbelievable.
That was I think the one that I enjoyed the most. I still laugh when I see it.
Exposed me for my lack of intelligence.
Sure.
I think it.
You had us all burning up.
Yep, put on display, and I think not only embarrassed myself, but Northeastern University, who cringes every time I have spoken over the last 15 years. But yeah, and the beauty of that was that you allowed it to continue because you realized that under my theory it was getting worse by the second.
Let me tell you something. The truth is I didn't know either.
Okay.
But I knew your theory was wrong because
we'd all be dead.
If the sun, we'd be fried. And so
I drive out to right center field. Betts and Bradley have come together. It'll be Betts who will make the catch. Now, right now, Ace Ticket has your tickets to all Boston Bruins, Boston Celtics, and New England Patriots games. Visit aceticket.com for the best seats at the best prices. Ace Ticket, it's more than a ticket. So 1 down here in the 7th inning, and that'll bring up Michael Martinez. Now, under my scenario, we would be fried.
That's the only thing I knew. I didn't know what a lunar eclipse was.
Yep.
But I did know under your scenario that we were not going to live through this.
I was going to have the sun come in front of the moon, the Earth.
In front of the moon.
Right, cross over in front of us.
That can't happen. It can't. No. Something told me
it was wrong.
That it can't happen. And, I just went to high school, but I knew that wasn't possible.
No, and that's not how it works.
I still today can't explain a lunar eclipse.
Well, I got all kinds of mail, and I got all kinds of responses from many professors on what it was at the time. Yeah. I remember thinking, I'm not a smart man, and that was and it was exposed for everybody to see.
I mean, you put it both together in this booth, and you really have about a half a brain between us.
Swing and a miss for Martinez as he strikes out for the 2nd out of the 7th inning. That is now 7 strikeouts for Porcello. 3rd time he's got Martinez.
That was a good changeup. That was a good changeup right there by Porcello. As he's gotten a little better as the game has gone on. He struggled early in the game, but settled down pretty nicely.
Saw Alexi Gondo warming in the pen. Lenny Chisenhall, 2 hits, a double and a single. And was grounded out to first base as well. He's a 10 at 17,844. 17,844. 1-0 pitch is fouled off down the left field line, out of play. First start of the series for Chisenhall. One hopper to shortstop. Marrero will go to first base, and that will wrap up the 7th inning. It's on to the 8th. 3-1 Indians. Historic performances. Don't miss the 2015 postseason beginning October the 6th. Go to MLB.com/postseason for a full schedule. When you think about it, Jerry, we had the chance to really broadcast during the greatest Red Sox era. I mean, you think about it, 3 championships in 10 seasons. That's pretty incredible.
Very lucky, very fortunate to be able to be part of that. And of course, you've been here 15 years, and 3 championships in 15 years. Pretty amazing, really. But
86 years without one, and then you have the chance to win 3.
My favorite still's the first, because
me too.
Because it just happened. I mean, it was nobody ever expected that to happen. The Red Sox win a World Championship,
and that group to me was very special.
Yeah, they were unique.
As leading it off here for the Red Sox in the 8th is Josh Rutledge. His first plate appearance, took over for Xander Bogaerts in the order, taking over at third base, hitting a .274, home run, 10 runs batted in. Bogaerts in his final day here of the season ended up 1 for 3. And with 196 hits on the year, he doubled back in the first inning. Rutledge takes a pitch low and away, and it's 1-2.
I remember your first game, the no-hitter. I mean, how do you start off a no-hitter and then you got ripped? It's unbelievable. I mean, this business is crazy because you weren't excited enough about it. I mean,
this is a diving play at second base. Couldn't get it. Ramirez does, and the throw to first is late. Rutledge will reach on the infield hit. Yeah, I was not expecting to get ripped after my first game of no-hitter.
Let me tell you,
I crushed.
We're fair game. There's no question about that.
Yep.
I mean, I got ripped my first game. We had a rain delay in Winter Haven, Florida, and Joe Gigliotti came on as a guest, and I got ripped the next day saying that he should have been a new analyst and not me. This was my very first game. I'd never had earphones on in my life. I didn't know what the score was. I had no clue what was going on, and I got toasted. Boy, I tell you, you're out there. I mean, you're gonna get ripped.
That's gonna happen.
I
just didn't see it coming as quickly as it did. It was like, wow.
They wanted to get you right away.
Yeah, I could have done with honestly, a normal 3-2 first game in Baltimore at Camden Yards would have been just fine. I didn't really need the no-hitter. And I think it was okay until, I guess it was the ninth.
I don't see what was wrong with it.
I don't know. I still think it was fine. It was no different than my Buck Holtz or Lester no-hitters years later.
I think it was absolutely fine, but they were crushing you.
Yeah.
Get used to it, pal.
Yeah, welcome to Boston. Here's a 1-0 that is in the dirt and a swing and a miss. For Alan Craig getting his first plate appearance. Pitch ran for David Ortiz in the 6th inning. Yeah, I remember going to bed that night thinking, boy, that was a pretty good call. That was pretty good.
So you get up the next morning.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
I didn't even give it a second thought, to be honest with you.
I didn't. I felt pretty good about it. But, not everybody else did. 1-1 pitch here.
Now, what's wrong with this now?
Left in the air to left. O'Leary coming on. And Hideo Nomo is no-hit the Baltimore Orioles. The Red Sox win their first of 2001.
Probably didn't need that last part. Looking back on it now, first game of 2001.
Yeah, that could have been dropped, but
yeah.
I mean,
up to that,
the excitement level was there.
I thought so. Crushed. Let's win for us later.
That's when I had to have a little chat with you because I had already been crushed many times by then.
This is fouled off down the right field line.
Still get crushed. I mean, still to this day get crushed.
I do remember, though, because we went home soon after that. I remember driving around. This was days afterwards, and people were calling up to talk radio, and they're calling my voice of famous events taking place in my voice. It was kind of funny, except it was me.
Yeah.
2-2 pitch coming up here to Craig, and that's going to miss inside. Full count.
Yeah, we've had some good times. I mean, people say, sometimes too much blah, 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 and you know what? I've always felt that this job is obviously number one is to do the game.
Yep.
The game is the game. But also, I also believe it should put smiles on people's faces too. There's a lot of people that have contacted me throughout the years that are in homes or they're in hospitals or they're having some problems and they enjoy maybe a smile. This is a 3-hour break for them, and
exactly.
I think we've kind of taken that approach over 15 years, and I think people have enjoyed that. And there's nothing scripted. I mean, you can't make stuff up like that comes up at the ballpark. You just can't make it up. So.
And it's baseball. It's supposed to be fun, and I think that's part of it too.
It's supposed to be fun. I think. I've always felt that way, and I mean, it's obviously the game is important, and you try to analyze it and play and call the play-by-play the best you possibly can day in and day out. But it's supposed to be a fun 3 hours. Hopefully
4 hours.
Yeah, it would even be better if it was a fun 220. But we don't have those anymore.
No.
Live television every day for 3 to 4 hours is dangerous.
Yeah, very dangerous. And Travis Shaw batting here with 2 on, nobody out. Good start to this 8th inning for the Red Sox. And this one fouled off himself, goes all the way out to second base, and down he goes.
What did Craig do? I didn't see Craig. Did he get hit?
He got a base hit to right field.
Okay, we got something going in the 8th.
Shaw trying to walk this off. Brad Pearson out there with Torey Lovullo.
A cut fastball that time that he gets on top of and puts it right down on his foot, I believe. Oh, right off the knee. Similar to how Brock Holt got hit last night with a pitch right off the knee.
Taking a little extra time here. I understand that X-rays are negative on Swihart's fingers, so that's certainly a good thing.
Yeah.
As Blake had to leave the game earlier. Sai Takahashi checking on Shaw here. And he's going to stay in the game. So 2 on, nobody out, and a count of 0-2 here to Travis Shaw. There's a pop-up right side of the infield. Jose Ramirez, and the infield fly rule in effect will make the catch for the first out of the inning. We can't make it to the Globies on Tuesday. Nesson has you covered. Watch the Globies Awards ceremony Saturday, October the 10th at 10 p.m. CU goes home with the hottest new awards in the Boston sports scene. The Globies on Nesson are presented in part by Tufts Health Plan. I remember so many times you're like not being able to stop laughing, and that has been the toughest thing for me. Once I get going, it's just, and I couldn't look at you. That was the defense mechanism I had to make it stop was to turn my back on you completely.
Yeah.
And sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't work. Most times it did not work.
And you know what? A lot of times, it's not us. It comes from the truck. Somebody will say something in the truck to us, and just cracks us both up, and then we can't look at each other because if we do,
it's all over.
It's done. The inning's over. I mean, it's crazy, and they know how to mess with you in the truck too.
0-2 the count here to Rusney Castillo. Up and away, and Castillo now with a count of 1-2. Sandy Leon waiting on deck. Red Sox batting here in the 8th inning. Swing and a miss, and Castillo down on strikes for the second out of the 8th inning.
I tell you, watching Castillo over this last month and a half or so, I mean, that breaking ball really is a problem for him. It's something that he's going to have to work on, and I don't know how you go about doing that. Maybe get a pitching machine that just throws curveballs and try to just see as many as you possibly can. But he has trouble with the breaking ball.
And it seems like everybody knows it now because they're all throwing it.
He's seeing a lot of. We've seen a ton of them on this trip.
Nika Insurance, great service, great coverage, and great price for auto, home, or life insurance. 2 down, 2 on. Sandy Leon will take strike 1. Rutledge at second base. Craig at first base. Back to the pitcher, and defensively Shaw makes that catch before it hits him. 3-1 Indians.
He struck him out. Clay Buchholz has thrown a no-hitter in Boston tonight, and it sends Fenway into a frenzy.
Back in Cleveland as we get ready for the bottom of the 8th inning, 3-1. The Indians have the lead over the Red Sox. As the Red Sox will bring on their second pitcher of the day, Alexia Gondo comes in here after 7 innings from Rick Porcello in the ball game tonight. As Gondo into his 64th game of the year, 3-1 with a 4.06 earned run average. 64 in the 3rd innings, 52 strikeouts. 245 opponent batting average, and a lot of work this year for Gondo. We're not sure what you're going to get from Gondo heading into the year, but he's a guy that logged a lot of innings out of the Red Sox pen.
Yeah, it certainly did. You know, many roles throughout his career: starter, reliever, back to starting, back to relieving, and certainly locked in a relief role this year for the Boston Red Sox. And I think fatigue kind of set in for him maybe about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and a little bit less work here as we come toward the end of the season.
And Carlos Santana leading it off here in the bottom of the 8th. And he gets jammed and fouls it back. Porcello, 7 innings, 10 hits, 3 runs. He walked a batter, and 7 were down by way of the K.
Oh, there it is.
I hadn't said it yet, Jerry.
Brought it out. You hadn't had a chance to.
No, I know.
You got to drop a bill of the cap high.
I know. I haven't had that either. One pitch is in there for a strike, and it's 0-2. Even though he's not right now, I think Gondo might be in the midst of a meeting with himself. You gotta get that in. There you go.
I gave you 3 looks the first time I heard that.
Yeah, I know. And there were like 1,000 times more after that. You don't know what I was talking about. The 0-2 pitch is gonna miss.
I'd never heard that one before.
Yeah.
That's the first.
I got a letter from a gentleman after I used that a few times my first year, who said, I just returned from a meeting with myself. I hate you and you suck. Signed, Nick. So thank you. The 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. And striking out is Carlos Santana. Boston Red Sox baseball in Nesson is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Your local Subaru dealers and by Sullivan Tire and Auto Services. Thank you, New England, for 60 great years. 1 out here in the 8th inning, and it brings up Jose Ramirez. Lined out to first, grounded out to second, singled to right. The other one I got my first year was how much does your head weigh? Guy said that he had a pull at work, thought it was somewhere in the neighborhood of 25 to 30 pounds, and that it sometimes was difficult to see you in the open because of my head.
I stopped reading letters a long time ago.
No, I read them all in the beginning.
I know. And I tried to tell you.
I know.
I tried to tell you what not to listen to, what not to read, and you paid no attention to me at all.
No.
None.
I saw it all.
And I could tell the moment you walked in the booth, too, what kind of day you were having.
The 0-2 pitch. He is on the ground right side to Pedroia. On to first, and that is out number 2.
Are you speaking at the end of this half inning?
I believe I am. I think there's something first, and then I got some stuff.
All right, good.
Yeah.
Can I leave?
No, because you're in there. You're in the stuff. So I appreciate you staying.
I will.
2 down here in the 8th inning, and it brings up Jesus Aguilar. He's got confirmation from the truck. Pitch is a little bit low. That the speech is still necessary.
Oh,
I just want to check. I've been checking from time to time. And it has been confirmed. It is still necessary. 1-0 pitch is a swing and a miss. I'm checking with Kevin Cedergren every inning. Aguilar today has 2 hits. He is lined out to right, singled twice, and driven in a run. And he fouls it back. It is 1-2. I'll do a better job of getting through this than I did the tribute last Sunday, where I missed an entire batter after the ovation at Fenway Park.
Don't worry about a thing. Just do your thing, my man.
1-2 pitch coming up here to Aguilar. And that'll miss. Gondo getting Santana to strike out. Ramirez to ground out to second base. On the ground to third base, it is Rutledge who'll go to first, and that'll wrap up the 8th inning. It is 3-1. Indians on top.
Well, out.
As well as sit next to my friend and teacher Joe Castiglione. 26 years later, I now broadcast my last Red Sox game. After 15 years as the voice of the Boston Red Sox and just shy of 2,000 total games. I want to thank my friend and partner Jerry Remy. For 15 years, we've been through so much together on the field and off the field, and I thank you so much for being one of my very best friends. Our director and my friend Michael Narachi, who I have worked with for 17 years, dating back to the Pawtucket Red Sox, and I thank him so much for everything he has done. And our great crew at Fenway Park, who has been with me for the 15 years. To my parents, who made my 10 years of minor league work possible. The Ursillos and Nolans, to all of you, from Chelsea to Melrose to Stoneham. My Kathy, my daughters, Sydney and Madison. But mostly, I want to thank the fans of Red Sox Nation. I thank you for your incredible support and your loyalty. I heard all of you, and never forget your words, as they touch me so very deeply. Thank you for letting me into your homes, into your families for the last 15 years. Last Sunday at Fenway will be my greatest memory of my life. I can tell you that right now. Your tribute to me, I will never forget, ever. Been asked many times over the last 6 weeks how I would like to be remembered. And to be remembered at all is enough for me. Thank you. We play on to the top half of the 9th inning. And it is Devin Marrero who leads it off. Marrero, Bradley Jr., and Mookie Betts.
Well, you made it, but I didn't.
Check swing, he went around and strikes out. There's the first out of the 9th. Second strikeout for Shaw, and there's one out. He'll bring up Jackie Bradley Jr. here in the 9th. Bradley has doubled, singled, and grounded out. Three runs, 10 hits, no errors for the Indians. Runs, 7 hits, and an error for the Red Sox. Two and 0. Strike in there. It's 2-1. Two-one pitch on the ground, right side. Ramirez gobbles it up and throws to first base for out number 2. The Toyota play of the game. I guess for me anyway. Thank you again all. This has been unbelievable. Mookie Betts with 2 down here in the 9th inning. Andy Allen trying to finish it off here for the Tribe. And there is a strike in there. Inside. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. Red Sox in 2015 are down to their last strike here in the 9th inning. On the ground to second base. Ramirez on to first. That's the ball game, and that is the 2015 season for the Boston Red Sox. It's the Cleveland Indians hold on here and beat the Red Sox 3-1 from Progressive Field in Cleveland. Now the Red Sox finishing it off here on the road in Cleveland, a ball game that takes 2 hours and 46 minutes. As we look down to the Red Sox dugout, unbelievably, I wave to the Red Sox for the final time. Thank you, boys. Orsillo rounded third and heading home.
The Honda for You sales event is happening